What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, and we have the 08 F150 again. Let's get 4.2 V6. And we're going to be doing valve cover gaskets on this video. And on the last video, we changed the ABS module. We still have the old one right here because we're waiting on the new one to come in because it would not program the actual module part. It kept saying module configuration failed. So it was a B2477 code, I think. So we're just going to get a brand new one. This one could have been bad as well. We did get that one out of the junkyard, so we're just going to get a new one coming, and it should be good in the last video. If we still haven't got it, I'll put this video up first. Whichever way it goes. So we left the elbow off, the intake elbow, just because we're going to be doing valve covers. If this video is first, I'll just go over how we took it off. Got a hose clamp here, one on that, and then it's got this band right here that goes and pulls the two sections together. And then you have this quick disconnect. Look, just pull back, down, and over, and you can pull that off. So get this valve cover off. You can leave this line on, but you will have to take your dipstick and the tube out because you can't lift it up with the tube in there. It hits tube. And then you'll have to take the lifting right there. You can see the dirt dauber nest on there. You have to take that off, and then we'll have to disconnect the spark plugs, or spark plug wires, I should say, just because it will make it pretty tight, and you won't be able to get it up and around everything. Then you can take the bolts. I think there's only 6 bolts. I think there's 2 studs, one right here in the front, one in the very back. You got 4 bolts, 2 on the top, 2 on the bottom, and it comes right out. And we do have the gaskets in the cab, but first thing we'll do is go ahead and pull the spark plug wires off, and I'm going to go ahead and number them when I do that. I got them down here, and y'all can see. Come on. If I can get it to come off. There's one. You see it right there. So I'm just going to pull all these off and number them so I don't forget which ones they go on. So I went ahead and took the lifting eye off on this side. Here are the bolts right here, or nuts I should say. And those are 13 millimeters. Took the 8 millimeter out for the dipstick. And to take the dipstick out, you can see how loose it is right there. It's kind of should be able to just kind of wiggle it and shoot it out. Maybe in there pretty good. I feel it moving. There it goes. Let's figure out which way it goes. Alright, well, that worked. We'll just lay it down to the side and see how it got laid right there. So we'll just do that for now, and then we'll make sure that it goes back in once we get ready to put everything back together. And now we can start taking the bolts forward. Oh, and I did take the spark plug wires off. Numbered 1, 2, where are you? There's 2 on this one. Just tape sticking together. And then I didn't put anything on the third one, just because I know that's the third one. But now we got 6 bolts. I think we take these off. There's 3 on the bottom. 2 on top, so there actually is only 5 on this, and then all the bottom ones except for the very first one down here are studs. Unfortunately now we can't find it, but let me see if I can find it real quick. Of course, whenever I lay something down, I lose where it's at, but down in there, the bottom 2 on the very back are studs, and these should be 8 millimeters as well. Got it on here. Yep, these are 8 millimeters. So I'm going to go ahead and start pulling these off, and they're tight. I don't think they should be that tight, but they are. Wish I could find a flashlight and suggest at it. But like I said, let me get all these bolts out, and then whenever I get ready to pull the valve cover off, y'all right back. Got all the bolts loose, and I went ahead and took the brake booster vacuum line off. Just give me a little bit more room. And there we go. There's your valve cover. And it's got a little rubber gasket all the way around it. And it was leaking on this side, that's the lower side next to the manifold. And what we're going to do is go ahead and pull that off. And we may even have some rubber grommets in the kit. I got the kit in the cab of the truck. Look at it, see what all of the improved. But I have to take it out. And I'm going to guess the door's locked. It is. Let's go around. She is hot today. Very, very hot. Here's the kit, and we do, where are we? Here's our kit. We do have the oil rings in there. Part number VS50441R. Reason I'm carrying y'all a lot because I forgot my tripod and my phone does not work for this phone or for this camera, so we'll have to figure that out. So right now I'm just going to carry y'all around and then show y'all everything. But I'm going to pull this gasket off on this, clean it up a bit, and try to get as much of that leaking grime off of it as I can. So let me do that, get her cleaned up, just a little bit, and then we'll be back. So we got the valve cover on this side. You can see how clean it is. And got them on, got them torqued down and torqued to 89-inch mounts. And that goes for the studs and the bolts. So we got them all on. Now we got to put the wires back on for the spark plugs and then hook up all the hoses and everything. We'll go ahead and put this back on. That pushes in. On the valve cover over here, I'll show you how you do the little O-rings, how you cut them off and put them back on. They're pretty easy. They're not as bad as the Hondas, but you do have to put your dipstick back in. See about get it back down in there. Make sure we got it back in there right. Where are you? That is it right there. It is a little tight, and I just tore a hole in my glove. So I used a deep 8mm right here. I used a deep 8mm right there to get all the bolts out. And I used a long extension, like a 9-inch extension, to get this one down inside of there. But put some purple power on it, and then just spray it off with a pressure washer. Then I air dried it with the air nozzle. But let me get all this put back together. I am going to put some dielectric grease inside of the wires too, just to make it easier for the person who's got to do the tune-up on it. But once we do that, we'll hop over to the passenger side and we will get that one, because that one has a little bit more stuff that needs to come off, like I said before. So this may turn into a spark plug and wire video too, because you see that the tip of the spark plug is stuck in this one, and it looks like it's done broke off. See how we didn't notice it misfiring? So I'm going to let the owner know, or the dealership know, what's going on. But we're right here on the passenger side, and here is the coil right there. See, and it does have numbers on it. You see the number 1, and then there's a 2 right there, and then the 1 that's up back right there. That one says 3 on it. So we are going to probably just pull off of the coil right here for now, so that we can get them up that way until we figure out what he's going to do. But we got them off, and then on the ignition coil itself, it has, I think, 2 bolts that hold it on. There's one all the way on the back side, and then up inside of here, there is a connector up inside of there. Let's see if I can get y'all in there. You can kind of see it right there, about dead in the middle. But there is a connector right there. When you do that, this whole coil assembly will come off, and then when you pull that off, we'll have to pull this lifting eye off right there, and then I think after that, the radio noise counselor for the spark plugs and all that stuff. There's one right back in there. You can see a little gray plug. Oh, trying to find out where it is now. But it's down inside of there. It's hard to see. But there's a little like radio frequency nullifier, whatever they call them, on these Fords. So you have to disconnect that, and it's I think it's on one of the studs of the valve cover. Take that off, and you can get to a lot easier once you get the coil pack off. And then after that, you just pull your plugs, not plugs, but the bolts for your valve cover off, and then we can pull it out of there. But we're going to pull this off. It is the same as the passenger side, and it's just 2 13 millimeters that go on to the lifting eye right there. So it is about 5 o'clock. It's about time for me to go home, and I don't know how well y'all can see in there, but got the coil out. There's actually 3 bolts, 2 on the back side, of course, make it hard enough to get to everything. Let's put 2 on the back side. Should put 2 on the front, 1 on the back is what I would have done, but it's one of them things. But now y'all can kind of see up in there. I'm trying to get y'all positioned. Alright, the little white piece on the very back, there's a sensor wire, and then there's a vacuum line connected to it. You have to disconnect the sensor wire off of it, and then it's just one of the little squeeze tabs that you push in and pull up, and it disconnects it. Alright, so we are back, and it's the next day. We got all the spark plugs out on this side, and we got the front 2 put in, and kind of show y'all what they look like. The tips on every one of them broke off. I got here's the tip to one of them, and then the spark plug wires actually have the other 2 tips in them. So we did get Motorcraft spark plugs right here, and got a little bit of anti-seize in there. I can see it and focusing in on it right now. But it is, I'm going to show y'all. There's a little bit of anti-seize on there just because Motorcrafts. Tip for the day: leave this off if you're doing a valve cover. This is your lifting eye. Leave that off so you can get to that back one a lot easier, and you can get around everything, and then you can get it off. And it is behind the last exhaust runner, I guess you can say. I know y'all can't really see, but it is down in there. It's a little too dark for y'all, but it's down in there. I got the front 2 on, and now what we're going to be doing is putting this last one in, and then we will start on the passenger side. So I have these wires right here. We did get these from O'Reilly's, not a sponsor. And we got some dielectric grease right there. We'll a little bit up inside of here. That. Let's see, got it up inside of it. And these are the longer wires, and two of them are going to basically be the same length. One is going to be a little bit longer. Find out which one is longest. So one of the little gray ones right here is longer. So I'm going to find out which one that is. This is our long one, and I believe the back one is the longest on here, which would be number 6. So it should go 4, 5, 6 on the driver's side. Pull these off. Now I'm going to put them on one at a time. If you're looking at this right here, it should go 4, 6, 5 like that. Because the middle one's going to go all the way to the back. That's going to be number 6. The front one, if you're looking at it where the sensor is, or connector is facing you, then number 4 is going to be at the very back of it. We're going to see how well I can get inside of here. I'm hoping I'm not blocking your view. But it is a little tight for these spark plugs. So on the front one, when I'm trying to get to now, I'm using a short spark plug socket, 5/8, and a 3-inch extension. Is a little tight. She's coming, it's just I don't know how tight they are in there. Alright, so got the valve cover on, got the spark plugs in. While I was putting it on, the battery died on this. But I will go over some part numbers for you. But first I'm going to show you, I just used like a standard ratchet 3-inch extension and a short 5/8 spark plug socket and got them all out with really no issues. Biggest thing on this that you want to really watch out for is right down in there, there's that tube. See where my finger is? There's a tube that runs right there, and you just have to go underneath that. But luckily the spark plugs angle out towards you a little bit, so they make it really easy on that aspect of it. So we got the valve cover torque down, we got the spark plugs in, put a little bit of mini C's on. Here are the plugs. Part number. Zooming in on it. If I can get it. And there's a lot of wind noise right there. There we go. See the part number right there. SP504X or SP504. We got 6 of those. Here are the wires. Let me zoom in on that. There we go, 9607. Still getting used to the camera, everybody. I'm sorry about all that. But that's part numbers for the plugs and wires, and all I really got to do now is just put all the coil back on. I got to find out which one of these, because I did pull the wires off the front of the coil. I got to find out which one is which, and it does not say on here. Figured it would have told me which one went where, but I guess not. I'll look it up on the internet, and then I'll put a picture of it somewhere in the video right there. Alright, so you got the valve cover on, got the wires on, and all that good stuff, and all we got left to do is put on the air breather, but I do have to install the new ABS unit, so I'm going to leave that off. I know probably in the last video, if it's up first, it will already show all this back together, but I just wanted to let y'all know what the order of the cylinders were on this side. So if you're looking at it from the front to the back, on the coil it just goes 1, 2, 3, and then on the upper side of it, it should go 5, 6, 4. So that's how that goes. Like I said, I will put up a picture of what it looks like, probably like the clip before this one. But it costs for about 4 hours to do valve covers and wires and stuff like that on this right here. So expect to spend a little bit of time. It took me a little longer just because I was filming it and all that stuff, and had to go wash off the valve cover stuff. I mean, I know some of y'all probably like throw them back on. It's your car, do what you want to do. Me, I try to clean up stuff whenever I'm doing it for a customer. But that is pretty much it. Like I said, got to finish the brake thing, then I got to do brakes on it and do an oil change on it, and this will pretty much be done on this truck. And clean up all the dirt bottom mess on here, and clean the top of the intake and all that stuff off too a little bit while I got it all exposed. But if y'all got any questions, comments, concerns, put them in the comment section below. I'll get to them as soon as I can. And if y'all need anything, not just painted in this vehicle, but any other vehicle, hit me up on Instagram. I do answer questions a lot quicker on there. And if y'all got any criticisms or anything, or a way to do some stuff quicker, let us know, because it doesn't help out just me, it helps out other people watching the video as well. But as always, y'all remember, don't be stuck, and y'all have a great day.